For me, it was never a career ladder that I wanted to climb. For me,
Just happened.
no, it didn't just happen. I worked hard. And I was proud of the work that I've done. And because of me just working hard, because that's how my parents taught me. When you do something, you do it properly and you work hard. I was then able to move forward in my life. But it was never, okay, now I want to go to the next step. I want to go to the next step. It was just working hard and really getting to that, to what I do and being proud. I always say your work that you do is your signature, right?
Yeah.
And are you willing to put your signature on what you're doing? And if you're proud of putting your signature to something, then, you are doing the best possible job that you can possibly do.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Clock.
How do you deal with stress? How do you handle that?
Coping mechanisms that I have is I go for a run.
Manage stress by obviously being moments like this. Spiritly saying I'm going off the clock.
Just even a night out.
I'm listening to my favorite music. I go into one of the studios at the gym and I dance.
Some cocktails and rest and just do nothing.
I ground myself spiritually.
The right amount of stress is good.
Welcome back to Off the Clock, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to Off the Clock, Sandri Yssel.
Thank you, Peter.
Off the Clock is not about us, me and my son Matlatsi. Off the Clock, it's about our guests. We want to know you better. We want to demystify you. We also want to see how balanced you are in your life, your corporate life and your family life with your kids. But before we go deep into the whole thing, just to break some ice, I'll ask you one question and then you can tell us who Sandri is. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
I had some toast and scrambled eggs.
No peanut butter.
No peanut butter, just toast and scrambled eggs.
French toast or just toast?
Just normal toast with butter, white toast with butter. So not very healthy, but at least the scrambled eggs is not too bad. It's good protein.
Okay. I'm sure it was very tasty and nutritious.
It was, with some aromat on top.
So, who are you, Yssel? Sandri Yssel.
Peter, I am a mother, first of all. I'm a wife. I'm a sister and I'm a daughter. And then for certain people, I am a colleague. And I'm also, others will say I'm their manager, but more importantly, I'm a colleague, because I believe that, everybody, or a lot of people are managers, but at the end of the day, in a work environment, we are one team, and that's why I'm a colleague. But first and foremost, I'm a daughter, I am a sister, I'm a wife, and I'm a mother. And hopefully, I'm a good friend to my friends as well.
Yeah, let me just connect on that, I think, because it's very important. The wife piece. Mm-hmm. How did you meet your husband?
So this year in February, I was married for 26 years, and I'm
you're a legend.
Yeah, I'm a legend. I'm extremely proud of it. My husband and I married in the year 2000, and he will always tell other people that I specifically chose that year.
That is a good year.
So that he will always remember how many years we've been married. He can never forget. So he will never forget the amount of years that we married. But my husband and I, we were actually at the same university, which was Northwest University.
Potch, to be exact.
Potch, to be exact. But we never met while we were at university, and that was a strange thing. We had so many friends in common, but our paths never crossed.
Wow.
And it is amazing. And even now, the common friends that we have now is friends from university. But he came from Lichtenburg, and
Where's Lichtenberg?
Lichtenberg is in northwest.
As well.
It is just...
I think on the way to Mafeking.
It's on the way to Mafeking. You're absolutely right. Just after Zeerust. And Zeerust is on your way to Botswana. Okay. So he came, and I didn't know either, right? Until I actually got to Potch, because for some reason I ended up with all these Lichtenberg people in my residence. And my friend from university, who's still my friend, after university, we actually lived in a flat together, trying to save money because we didn't earn a lot. And she knew my husband from school. And by hook or by crook, friends coming over, and he came to visit from Lichtenberg at that particular point, and he phoned a friend who was with us at that point. And I spoke to him, or the friend said, but come over, you know Mitzi, so come over. And they gave the phone to me, and I gave him directions to our house, and didn't know him. I knew about him, but I didn't know him. And he arrived there, and it was kind of love at first sight, right?
Oh, really?
I knew from the start that I like him, and after a couple of interactions, I knew I was going to marry him.
You went out, checked each other out.
We went out, checked each other out. He was actually working in Mafeking at that particular point. And I was then a medical rep, and one of my country trips was Lichtenberg, Mafeking. And suddenly, I did a lot more country trips to Lichtenberg and Mafeking. So, yes, I think, he didn't necessarily think I was his wife at that, he was going to marry me at that point, but I knew I was going to marry him. So, yeah, about 2-3 years later.
How did you know?
I don't know. I just knew.
You felt it.
I felt it. He was just that. He was what I was looking for. He was a little bit rough and tough, this rugby player, and I never went for any rugby players.
You like them rough and tough?
No, I didn't. But he's got he's a big guy, but he's got the softest heart, and so tender and so caring. And I think that's what I saw in him.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What do you think he saw in you? Your eyes, smile?
I don't know, to be quite honest. He always said to me he saw my ambition, and he liked the fact that I was independent. He didn't have to look after me. When we do stuff together, we do it together, but I'm independent, and that's what he liked about me. That's what he told me. But what was interesting, one of the very first dates that we went on was my uncle's 60th birthday. My whole family was sitting there, and we arrived late. And he didn't know which one of those were my mother. And he said he was looking around the table, and he saw my mother. And when he saw my mother, he said to me, "Is that your mother?" I said, "Yes."
You guys are similar.
We're very
same
similar.
Resemblance.
We're very similar, and similar resemblance as well. So yes, but in any case, so from there, it was just downhill. And 26 years later, here we are still going strong.
So wait, just quick question. How old were you then when you met your husband?
When I met my husband, I was 23.
23, okay.
Yeah. And we got married in the year that I turned 26.
Okay, 3 years. You made it happen very quickly.
We did.
3 years is it's not a bad runway to get to know each other.
It's not. But
figure out very quickly.
The challenge was long distance, because I was living in Pretoria and he was living in Mafeking. Hence the fact that I, did a lot of country trips. And then when we got married, he actually then got a job in Joburg. I moved from Pretoria to Joburg, and I got a position in Johannesburg as well. And we lived for a couple of years in Johannesburg, and then we moved back to Pretoria.
So quick question. Was that what was that like when you got the job? Well, he got a job in Johannesburg, and then did you just decide I want to be closer to him and move to Joburg so you get a job there?
No, we got engaged first.
Oh, you got okay.
We got engaged, and then we had to make a plan. So because Pretoria, Mafeking, where are we? going to work? How's this going to work? Where are we going to anchor ourselves? And in the process, we were fortunate enough that he then got a job in Johannesburg. I worked for the same company, but just moved from one region to another region. There was a position that opened up in that region. Yeah, so then we moved to Joburg.
Okay.
So, I mean, you mentioned that you were a medical rep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like you really started from the bottom. What did you study?
Oh, goodness. I studied BSc dietetics. So I'm a dietitian, or I was a registered dietitian. And to be quite honest, after I finished my studies, I actually wanted to move to pharmacy and study pharmacy. But didn't really have money at that stage to continue my studies, and I couldn't find it. And I couldn't find a job either as a dietitian at that particular point. And then, you know, a friend of mine had a friend who was a medical rep. I didn't even know people like that existed. So I got to know about being a medical rep, and I interviewed for the positions that was available, and I was fortunate enough to get a position as a medical rep. So the healthcare industry is basically all I know. I've been in that my entire life. And from medical rep,
Sound familiar?
Yeah, that's all I know.
Sound very familiar.
But it's not a bad thing to know either. But
So with dietetics,
yes.
How do you still use that knowledge you accumulated in your life today, or is it just in the past now?
It's interesting. There's a couple of things about dietetics. It's not an easy study, right? Because you know everything of everything and nothing of nothing as well. And it's really hard. Where my friends were partying, you know, at university, my classes started at 8 o'clock in the morning, at 5 o'clock in the evening, and then my postgraduate, in the afternoon. And my postgraduate diploma that I had to do in those years, it's now like an honors, but you have to have that to be able to register as a dietitian. That I did at Hammanskraal, Pretoria West Hospital, and in Kalafong Hospital. So you work the whole day and then you have to study, etc. So it's really a hard course to do. But I think that taught me a lot of agility, a lot of grit. So what I took from dietetics was really what it taught me in life, not necessarily what I've learned from being a dietitian. I think from dietetics, yes, it's amazing when you search through all your files in your head, how you remember a lot of stuff. And it helped me in getting into medical rep work as well. But here's the interesting thing. At our wedding, our friends say to us, you know, if you look at a preacher, their children are normally the naughtiest. If, you know, and then if you look at a dietitian, their husband are normally the fattest one. Or the most overweight. So I don't apply that as a dietitian. I don't like vegetables a lot. So I try to prove that you can still maintain a good, balanced, healthy meal with starch and meat and a little bit of something sweet in between.
Do you braai a lot?
We braai a lot. We like it. Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're not unhealthy, but it's not as if I'm counting calories and do all these high protein stuff, which is so no. But for me, what I got from dietetics is really hard, being able to work hard, have grit, be agile in life, and be very disciplined as well. That's what I got from dietetics.
So just maybe a follow-up now that we're talking about being healthy, eating a lot of meat, braaiing now and then, socializing at the same time. Yes. You know, you got a tough job already, and keeping that balance, that means you need to, you know, sleep well, come back strong just about every day. Are you kind of a morning person or a A late person?
I'm a morning person. It depends. Over weekends, I'm more a late person, but normally in the week, I'm a morning person.
So you crash early?
I don't, because we kind of binge watch all these murder shows, me and my husband, in the evenings. And then we just want to go from the one, and then the last episode ends on a high, and then we just want to see the next one and the next one. So we're bad at that, right? But fortunately, I'm a morning person. I go to gym every morning. So I go to gym every morning at 6 o'clock. I get my sister. We live close by to each other. The one morning she picks me up, and the other morning I pick her. Oh, the other week I pick her up, and we go to gym. And that is really that is what's making the difference for me, and that is what's getting me ready for the day, energized for the day. And it's very good for my mental health. I can tell you that, because I laugh and I exercise. And sometimes I don't even exercise that hard, but it's just being there and the community that we have there and being able to laugh and not think about work. That is really awesome for me. That's what's keeping me sane.
How many hours?
No, just an hour.
No, I mean of sleep.
Of sleep.
I can't do an hour.
No. Uninterrupted, I would say 2. But I would say I sleep about 5 to 6 hours a night. But I'm a bad sleeper. I'm awake a lot. So I've got this method, which I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to say this, how I go to sleep. But
as long as you're not taking cannabis.
I'm a binge Friends watcher as well. So I've watched that series so many times that I know all the expressions, everything. So if I go to bed and I don't have something I just put my mind on something else, I think about work the whole time, and I really struggle to
try to switch off.
So what I do is I put my one ear pod in my ear, just the one. I put on Friends, I turn my phone around, and just by listening to that, I fall asleep.
Wow, that's a miracle.
And I promise you, during the night when I wake up and I struggle, I do the same. And it's not even 5 minutes, and then I fall asleep.
And then you're gone.
Yeah.
Wow. The more you talk in terms of being in healthcare all my life, reminds me of my life, because healthcare is what I know, is what I do. And I've been in healthcare all my life as well. I mean, just looking back through your career, to get to where you are, where you've been studying from the bottom, being a rep, going to Lichtenberg and Mafikeng and those places, which I incidentally did. Anything that you look back, opportunity or whatever that you turned down and you're still thinking about it, that maybe I should have,
To be honest, no. And I'm being very honest about it. So I was fortunate enough in my life I always say, maybe I was in the right place at the right time. Maybe it was just because I worked hard. For me, it was never a career ladder that I wanted to climb. For me...
It just happened.
No, it didn't just happen. I worked hard. And I was proud of the work that I've done. And because of me just working hard, because that's how my parents taught me. When you do something, you do it properly and you work hard. I was then able to move forward in my life. But it was never, okay, now I want to go to the next step. I want to go to the next step. It was just working hard and really getting to that, to what I do and being proud. I always say your work that you do is your signature, right?
Yeah.
And are you willing to put your signature on what you're doing? And if you're proud of putting your signature to something, then, you are doing the best possible job that you can possibly do. So for me, was there missed opportunities? Most probably, but I don't know. And maybe if I've chose that option, my life would have been different. Yes, I've made wrong decisions in my life.
What did you do?
No, it's maybe making the wrong decision to move from one company to another company where the culture was not necessarily, where you flourish in. but you learn from those experiences as well, right? So, I mean, there might have been a manager that you worked for that's not necessarily, they didn't treat you fairly, but you learn from that so that when you are a manager, you try not to do the same thing. So you learn from those bad experiences because that's what you take away from that, right? You can't always look back and, go and sit and cry about that. Then you do something about it and you learn from it and you move forward.
So you don't look back in anger. You kind of take it as every day as educational, take the lessons and keep moving.
No. Was I possibly angry at that particular point? Yes. I mean, we're all human. But really, looking back at my career, I was fortunate for the companies that I worked for the people that I reported to. I had a lot of good, brilliant people that were leaders that I looked up to. And I will always be grateful for those because I learned so much. So really, no regrets looking back today. No regrets. I think the only regret that I might have is moving from being a medical rep to going to a sales manager. Nobody warned me the hard work from just being a medical rep to going to a sales manager. And being a rep is really an awesome job. I really think it's an awesome job.
Tell me about being a sales manager.
It is just, from being a sales rep, you're alone, you're in your car, you do what you have to do, you interact the whole day, you're on the road, you're all over the place, you're responsible for yourself and your own sales.
Freedom.
And then suddenly you become a manager and you need to manage people. And people management is not easy. And you make a lot of mistakes when you're a people manager. And you grow through those mistakes as well. But it's, everybody's different. Everybody interprets what you say to them in a different way. Communication is a skill when you manage people. And when you're young and suddenly you're a sales manager and you've never managed people before, it's a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate. Having to show the right amount of anger at the right time to the right person, not spreading the anger to everybody
Correct.
all the time. And it talks to self-restraint and also just waiting for the right time.
Exactly.
And back to not so much about the what, but the how, how you address problems and issues, I think. I hope you're listening, Matlatsi, because everybody started from the bottom and built up. And once you've done that and put that signature of your hard work, things just happen.
I wanted to ask, because you mentioned earlier about after you studied, you said you wanted to do pharmacy. Why pharmacy?
To be quite honest, I don't know. Had a couple of friends who studied pharmacy, and I got interested in the healthcare part of that, right? And for some reason, it looked very attractive to me.
What, the white coat, counting pills?
I don't know. I think it was just learning about medicine, that was kind of what was interesting for me. Yeah, about that. Look, I don't think I would have passed pharmacology, but you know what? At that point, I thought I could change the world. So it was that. And I think to a certain extent, I was never able to do that. But then I got into pharmaceuticals, and I got to do that, but in a very different way.
Okay.
So, life worked out.
I think my follow-up question would have been, would you go back and study it now in this day and age? Or is that just something you'll be like, nah,
no,
not even?
No.
You already had enough exposure to it now.
I've had enough and the right exposure to it.
Had enough. Incidentally, Posh was very strong pharmacy school.
Yes.
I think it is even today.
Yeah,
modern times. So,
But I actually didn't want to go and study dietetics or any BSc degree at all.
Then what pushed you in that direction?
Not knowing what to study.
The love for food.
No, wasn't that when you go for those tests when you're grade 11, they tell you you can do anything, but here's what we think. And to be quite honest, it's not as if chemistry was my best subject at school. So I think my teachers couldn't believe that I was actually going to study BSc and have a BSc degree. I actually want to go and study law. That was what I wanted to go and study. And then when I went to Tux the one day, one of those education days or orientation days, they said to us that every second person wants to go and study law, and only 15% of them are successful in actually being a lawyer. And they put me off so badly that I
it took that one line.
Took that one line, and I changed direction at that particular point. So then I got into dietetics. But would I ever still want to go and do I think that might have been a good direction for me as well? Yes. But I will never know. Maybe yes, maybe no. Now I'm here.
So if, with all the knowledge you have now, if you could go back and tell your past self to, what would you actually, to follow your heart, what would you actually study? With everything you know now and you could go back.
I would go and study business.
Business.
Yeah.
For me, movie director, make a lot of drama movies and
So you're
comedy.
gonna go study a BA basically.
Yeah, production stuff, make blockbusters and get those things going.
The creative part of you.
I just felt that I liked it when I was small, and I tried to do it. And in my time, it wasn't well understood by my parents, and they wanted me to just be something, be a policeman, a teacher, a doctor, there's something with a title, which is, challenging, I think.
So then, as you are now, since we're looking at things in retrospect, how did you go about advising your kids on how to choose the right thing to study or what path to take?
I said to them is that they need to study something where they're going to love their job, because you are going to be in that job and working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week at that job. You're going to spend a lot of time at that job. So go and study something that you love and that you're going to enjoy. And my son started with a direction, and after a year, he came back to us and said, this is not what I want to do. I can't see myself in that job. And it was difficult for me because we were taught when you start something, you're going to finish it, right? And I had to make a conscious decision to say, okay, me and my husband to say, so what do you want to go and do? And allow him to do that. Because it's not because he didn't try hard enough or not passing his subjects, because he passed everything. He just didn't enjoy it. And my daughter is in a total different direction. She is studying fashion supply, right? And that is what she loves. Will she make money out of it one day? Hopefully. Is she going to stay in that direction?
Maybe.
Maybe, you never know. But there's very few people who's in the jobs that they actually studied for as well.
Yeah.
So life happens, but it is all about the exposure that you have while at university and the discipline to be able to party, but go to the classes tomorrow, pass your exams. It's that balance, right? That's what you learn at university, is being able to balance everything in life. I think that is what university brings to the table as well.
And also, this show is about that, work-life balance and longevity, that we push quite a lot here. So, any not regret, but any moment in your career where you almost quit, but you didn't?
Every day.
But the one that stand out, I'm sure they're not ranked equal, those moments, when you feel like I'm out or about to go out.
No.
Say every day.
No, fortunately not. And I'm going to tell you why, because quit was never an option. Because, again, I need the income. And if I quit, what kind of example am I going to set my children? So no, quit was never an option. Honestly, quit was never an option. Do I get home sometimes and say, today I'm done? I'm done? I'm done. Absolutely. But you know what? You pick yourself up and you go to work tomorrow, and you know what? There's so much that you can get from going to work. All the people that you interact with, all the highs, all the lows, all the just normal days. That is actually, what else are you going to do? You know, so if I quit, what am I going to do? Can I just going to sit at home every day and go to gym for the whole day and then have a glass of wine with your friend? And I don't know, for me, braai, but you can only do it for that long, right? So for me, it is really about, I mean, I started working as a casual in Fashini when I was in standard 6 in grade 8. So I've been working my whole life. So for me, quit was really, really never an option. This is what you have to do, but I enjoy it as well. I really do. It feels like I've got a purpose, there's value in my life, and I can give people something, and I can get so much more from the people that I work with and I interact with on a daily basis.
I see. Probably just trying to wind down. Klatse, maybe 2 questions that you can figure out, and then we'll give Sandri a moment of revenge to ask us a few questions. Any one person that you thought maybe in your life you should have apologized, but you never got the opportunity for whatever reasons? Maybe the person moved on or whatever. You don't have to mention the name.
I think if I have to go back, I will apologize to my kids.
You're a harsh mother?
I wasn't a harsh mother, but I wasn't always present because I worked hard. And I wasn't always available as other mothers. Other mothers waiting for them after school to pick them up.
Kiss them on the cheek.
Kiss them on the cheek, be there to watch their cricket and their rugby and netball and whatever they've done. I try to be a present mother as much as possible, but I had to work. They don't blame me. Hopefully not. They've never said that. But if I have to apologize to somebody, and it would definitely be my kids. But I also believe for the fact that I've set the right example for them. They're very independent. They can stand on their own 2 feet. They're not waiting for me to solve their problems for them. They solve it themselves first.
Wow.
Or try to solve it themselves first.
That's great.
Because I always say to them, you know what, if plan A doesn't work, there's always plan B.
And C.
And C. But plan C you might not like. But if if it works, then you have to go to plan C, right? If that's your only option. So yes, that is who I would apologize to, because when I think back over the years, I think I've missed a lot. And maybe it's an apology to myself as well. That
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. But now I'm really enjoying them now as well, because now I realize that, and I'm really trying to enjoy them as much as possible when I have the ability to do so, when they're home or when I go and visit them at university, etc.
Yeah, just do it more and avoid the rush, because you don't have a long runway.
Thanks for that, Peter.
You can see me trying to recover that. You said you're kind of a movie person. You binge. You sometimes you lose track on when it's time to sleep. Anything else that is a go-to for you to really chill? Ice cream, glass of wine, or something that you really get that happy, me alone moment?
A glass of wine. Absolutely a glass of wine.
What, red, white, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc?
It depends. In summertime, I drink Sauvignon Blanc with lots of ice in. I know the Cape Townians don't like us putting ice in the wine, but you know what? I don't care. That's what I like. And in winter, I love a pinotage. So when it's cold, like tonight will definitely be a pinotage night.
Open a bottle of pinotage.
But I have to admit, I love my beer every now and then as well in summer. Especially we play paddle on a Saturday. So after the paddle, we go and have a drink, and then I will ask for my draft Stella.
Stella.
Yes, but any beer. But that's normally my go-to when I...
Number one choice.
Yeah.
Klutz, any questions from you before we...
Light-hearted question. Can you sulky?
I can. I can. You know what? My sister actually, because I was in Craddock. Do you know where's Craddock?
I do not know where's Craddock.
Okay, it's in the Northern Cape. I was in Craddock, in the Eastern Cape. Sorry, it's Eastern Cape, Northern Cape, around there, close to, well, in any case, it's around there. But I was in Craddock in school, and I was in the hostel there, in boarding school. And my sister and I were in the boarding school there. And in the evenings, the girls taught each other how to socky, because if you can socky, then you're a hit, right? So my sister and all the girlfriends there taught me how to socky, but I perfected that in Potch.
In Potch.
Yes.
So did you sulky with your husband?
I do. So you would know Bourbons, right? And Bourbons don't exist anymore, but we were fortunate just before Bourbons closed down, we were fortunate to be in Bourbons with our kids. And there at the top there, at the socky place there in Bourbons, there's most like top level. My husband and myself, we sockied. And if that's a word. And my son actually took a video of us and he shared it on the family group and he said, this is exactly why Bourbon shouldn't close, because there's so many memories and history there. But in any case, so yes, I socky with my husband.
Did you teach your kids how to socky? Do they know how to?
My son is, when he goes to Impala, he sockies. And he takes his mother for a socky as well. And my daughter as well, both of them do. Although my daughter loved their doof a little bit more, but she can socky. Yes, she likes it as well.
This is like a thing, Dad. Like, if you can socky, you might be able to find a partner if you socky well enough.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm sorted. I got a partner.
I'm just saying, these are dynamics I saw. When I was in Potch, I was like, oh, okay, if you can socky, you can. Yeah, basically. So I just thought that would be a fun thing to ask.
Yeah, no, socky is, it's so much fun, and it's really amazing. At my old age, unfortunately, when I've done one song, my legs are sore the next day, but yeah.
So yes, over to you. Any revenge moment questions to both of us combined or individually?
I think if I can ask you one question is, if you can give, looking at your past life and the road that you've traveled, if you can give any advice to your son, what would that be?
Yeah, and that advice for me is being, and he knows because we get a moment to spend some time together, is, just enjoy life. It's just too short. And be whatever you want and the best that you can in whatever you like. And that will take you a lifetime. Without prescribing to anything, I realized that people like different things. Sometimes you get into a job or something that you like, it becomes your lifestyle because you like it and you just do it more and grow. Earlier you mentioned that your hard work is your signature. People see you through that. And if you do something that you like about your life, about your career, people see through that and realize that. And I realize also in my career, having started from the bottom, people see you, the way you deliver, the way you achieve, the way you do things, the energy that you put in and the passion because you love what you're doing. And that's what I'm advising my son here and my daughter all the time.
If you can give me any advice, because you're more or less a little bit older than my kids, but if you can give me any advice to better understand, to better engage with my kids, what would that be?
Cultivate being a safe space for them to like truly be able to tell you either what's going on, what they're experiencing, and how they view the world. Because as much as you guys are parenting from your own experiences, right? So your own experiences are from a time when you were a child and you had parents and all that, and that's great. But the thing is now is that we must also take into context that they're not in the same context that you were in, and life is very much different. Like we have all these other new variables like social media, the internet. They either make life easier or they influence you in other ways, either in a positive way or a negative way. So I think just being, number one, understanding that, because also I'm pretty sure you already know this, they're also just going through life and figuring out life. I'm sure at this stage you guys are still like, I'm also still figuring out life. So they're also doing it, but they're like only starting that process. And they probably think that at some age, I'm supposed to know what I'm doing. To some degree, you are supposed to know what you're doing, but you're also still, there's no point where you're like, I've got everything figured out. So it's understanding and just being an overall safe place for them to truly be able to express what they're going through, what's affecting them, and all those things. So just being a safe space. So having that person's like, I know I can speak to mom about X, Y, and Z, and she'll actually understand and not, in a way, I guess, judge or try put on her own views on whatever the issue is. And also, like, let's say if that person's not mom, it could also be dad as well. So yeah, I think understanding and really being a safe space for them to just get out what they're feeling inside, because I feel like in this day and age, a lot of us, and maybe I'm just speaking also from a male perspective, because I know ladies are more able to express themselves or given the space to express themselves. So I just think, yeah, it's harder in this day and age. It can be a lot harder for people to express that they might be going through some things or whatever, because the perception might be that you're supposed to have everything under control and you're supposed to know what you're doing. Whereas everyone knows that we're all just figuring this out, but we have to put up a front of, no, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very good advice. Thank you. Thank you for that. And it's difficult, right? It is. It's not easy advice that you gave me to follow. Because like you say, we come from our experiences and our parents made mistakes, right? And we're trying to fix those mistakes. And by trying to fix those mistakes, we make new mistakes with our kids.
Yeah.
Sadly.
And your kids might be going through something similar that you were going through, but like, because
Very
times
different.
have changed, it's in a very different context or, yeah. So yeah, I think understanding and just being a safe space.
And being available.
Being available. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Any more?
No, those are the two ones that I wanted to ask.
With that, thank you very much for the opportunity to feature on Off That Log.